in this video, I'm going to be showing y'all the perfect recipe for cozy season, turkey chili. But if you're a plant-based baddie, don't worry, I got you covered. Before we get into this recipe, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Alright, now let's begin. We're going to be first mincing some garlic. I'm using my handy dandy garlic crusher. We're going to be doing 6 cloves. If you do not have a garlic crusher, do not worry. This is perfectly doable with a chef's knife and a cutting board. But again, we're doing 6 cloves and we're just going to prep this for the beginning parts of our recipe. Next on our prep to-do list is the onion. We are using a medium sweet yellow onion. I'm just cutting it in half and then I'm dicing it. You can do larger pieces or smaller pieces. It's all up to you, but the goal here is to make sure that all of our onion is diced into similar sized pieces. So to begin cooking the chili, I'm just using my Dutch oven and I'm placing some olive oil in there, lightly coating it, then adding my onions. We just want to sweat our onions, make them nice and soft, and so we're going to do this before we add the garlic. At this point, I'm going to add a little bit more oil so the onions don't dry out on me, and then I'm also adding some Himalayan pink salt. I like to season my food before I add all of the rest of the ingredients because it helps the seasonings come together even nicer. And when you add salt to onions, it allows them to release some of their moisture. And at this point, we are adding our minced garlic, those 6 cloves that we crushed. We're just adding them right into there. We add garlic after the onions because garlic is a little bit more delicate and you do not want to burn it. And so the onions require a little bit more cook time to prep and soften than the garlic does. Next, we are adding our tomato paste. We're adding 2 tablespoons right into that mixture. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, but if you don't feel comfortable doing that, make sure you measure it. We want to make sure we're giving everything a really nice stir, making sure all of our ingredients are nicely combining in our pot before we move on to the next step. So going back to my point about how adding seasoning in the beginning stages of your recipe enhances the flavor, we're going to continue to do just that. I'm adding onion powder, garlic powder, ancho chili powder, smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, cumin, and crushed red pepper. For all of the measurements, make sure y'all check the recipe out on zazaskitchen.com. The link is in the description. Right now, I'm adding my protein of choice. I am using ground turkey, but you can also add your veggie crumbles, whether they're from Impossible, Boca, Morningstar, and also you can add them while they're frozen. So that's a great part about this recipe. They will defrost while you cook it. So we're just browning our meat. We want to make sure that the meat gets all of those seasonings, onions, garlic combined into it. And then we're going to allow it to finish browning before we add the rest of our ingredients. I forgot to add dry oregano to the chili when I added all of the other seasonings, but if you forgot like me, just add it at this stage. So the turkey is getting nice and brown, and so it's about time to add our next ingredients, which include beans and also diced tomatoes. So before I did that, I actually removed some of the extra grease and that kind of brothy thing that's going on at the bottom. And then I added my black beans, and then we're going to be adding some red kidney beans. You can change out the type of bean you use, but I suggest using 2 cans for the 2 pounds of turkey meat. Because chili is a tomato-based dish, I wanted to incorporate that ingredient in another element as well outside of the tomato sauce. And so we're adding some diced tomatoes right into our ground meat mixture. We're now adding some broth, only 2 cups. If you're doing the plant-based version, use vegetable broth, but here I am using chicken broth. are going to be stirring everything on up and then covering the pot and allowing it to cook on a medium-low heat for 5 minutes. Our final step is to add tomato sauce into our pot and just give everything another stir, and then we're going to cook this on a simmer for 30 minutes. Again, chili is low and slow. But y'all, look at that. That looks so good. I'm just going to transfer it to my bowl and get it ready to serve. I'm just going to be adding a couple of scoops, and then you can really do chili however you like. I'm more of a cheese on chili girl with some jalapenos and scallions. I'm not too into sour cream. That's for y'all to eat. But I'm adding some grated sharp cheddar. I'm a sharp kind of girl, but if you like medium or mild, go for that. All right, we're just gonna add some nice thinly sliced jalapenos, and then we're just gonna garnish it with some greenery, with some scallions. It adds a really nice bite. You can also add tortilla chips and cornbread. But again, the recipe is on the website. Link is in the description. Enjoy.